This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Hello, welcome, well done, podcast, now yours. Thanks. Register of who's here, Dealey.
Hello, boss.
Give us a summary of your week in 5 words.
Good, sexy, bants, sunshine, tan.
Bets.
Present.
And let's tell me the highlight of your week in 1 word.
Right now.
1 word.
Now.
Scoins.
Here.
And if you had to describe your week via a smell, what would that smell be?
Well, it's Iain. It's very interesting you say that. I think the smell that I would probably most describe myself... not myself, I suppose, as the week in itself.
Just say it.
Just say a smell.
Just say it.
There may be sort of peppermint.
Peppermint doesn't smell of anything. It tastes of peppermint.
It smells of mint.
Cut that bit out. Let's crack on!
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Podcast! People call me on my show about all sorts. Sometimes to tell us a story, sometimes to get sexy with me, sometimes to agree with me, other times to get sexy with me. But most of the time it's to get sexy with me, but sometimes it's to moan about something. It's freestyling a bit.
That's good. That's good. I enjoyed that.
Great.
You like that, guys?
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Really
Great feedback. Great comps. Yes, Scoins is laughing. Justin's laughing. Kelly's not laughing so much.
I'm having fun, though.
Yeah?
Got a smile on my face.
She's got a smile on her face. You've got both hands in your
my
pockets
pants.
as well.
Yes.
I don't stand here trying to focus the blame, but I'm hurting deep.
Well, it's not very often we do this, but we have to interrupt Rod Stewart and It's Over There for some breaking news. Ian's just called in. Good morning, Ian.
Hello, Ian.
What's the breaking news, Ian?
This music is absolute guts, and I'm going to Heart.
Whoa, Ian, hang on a second. Whoa, dude.
Hold up.
No. If you go to Heart, they play this song, and it'll be followed by Robbie Williams and Candy. That's how bad Heart is.
You need to redeem yourself. What's your next tune?
Right, I'm going to stop this song.
It stopped.
It's okay. Don't worry. We were debating whether we should stop that song. I don't know how it slipped through the filter. Hang on. I got it. Right, hang on. Okay. Aha. Here we go. How about this? Is that better?
What's this?
It's The Who and Happy Jack. Is that better?
No. We need something a bit more modern.
Oh, flipping heck.
Some GABA.
What? What do you want?
30 seconds, or I'm off to Nicky Campbell or Hart.
Whoa,
dude!
He's throwing that in the gauntlet.
Dude, no, hang on, we can do this. Stay there. I got it. Here we go. How about this?
Yeah, that'll do.
UB40 and Chrissy Hynde?
Absolutely, I'll do. Thank you very much.
No, Ian, before you go,
Yeah.
you just failed the test.
Yeah.
You're banned from listening to this show.
Right.
I hope you enjoy Heart. What the hell was that about?
I mean, we're not the biggest fans of Stuart, but anyone who picks UB40...
Pick this. He picked that.
Oh, it's so bland.
He said he wanted something a bit more modern, and by that he meant some white reggae from 1984. No, sorry, Ian. No, you go, mate. You go wherever you want to go. Not welcome here. Not welcome. Kelly, if he turns up again, could you politely show him the door?
Sure.
Thank you. No, not welcome here. Off. Hope you enjoy Heart or Nicky Campbell. No, I'm not having that.
No.
Not having that.
I don't, yeah. I think that, and that goes for everyone.
Not having that. From one caller moaning to another, here it is. I'm reading this. A moan from another moaning moaner.
Good morning, my dear. Hands-free, car-free, phone-free, GMT-free, gluten-free, parked up. There you are.
Content-free, talent-free, interest-free.
No, we're talking about me, not you.
Richard, we've given you
listen,
it's a
I'm
third...
a bit
Hang on, shut up.
Go on.
Shut up. It's a
Shut up
third...
yourself.
You shut up yourself. It's a...
No.
You shut up.
Sip it.
Hey, button it, old man. Now, it's...
At least I got there.
Yeah, you might not see another day, mate.
Anyway,
yes.
Can I tell you why I rang?
Let me set this up. This is the third.
Go on,
this is the third attempt at your phone call, Richard.
Aren't you lucky?
No. So it better be good, otherwise you're going to get a knuckle sandwich. Yeah.
You'll get a Kirby kiss.
You're going to get a bunch of fives.
You're going to Kirby kiss me, lovely.
Yeah, you're going to get. I'm going to hit you.
What? I'll get my mum on.
Yeah, my dad's better than yours.
My dad's got a tiger in the loft.
Right. Oh, has he?
You know, so when I was a boy of about 7 or 8, we were out in the street, various kids were saying what they had. And one kid said, well, my dad's got a tiger in the loft.
Oh, blimey, really?
I think it was you. Anyway, listen, the reason I'm phoning up on a serious matter. I don't know what's happened to the show. You seem to have lost your edge. Ever since you had that row with old Mohammed and you threw your toys out of the pram.
Hang on a minute.
I think it was the same. Hang on, it was the same day you had a row with another woman, which was a good old humdinger. I think
was
the
that Sharon you're talking about? Was that Sharon who I had a row with because her son was a copper?
Could have been.
You weren't really paying attention, were you plum?
No, but I just plum myself. I just like, you know, we listen to you instead of LBC because we like a bit of old How's Your Father going on.
I don't have
you
any
seem to have lost your edge.
What do you mean
You've lost your edge?
Now we've
dear.
got. Listen, well, I've got no reason to get angry. We've had 2 councillors on in the last week that have come on and said they'll do something about stuff.
Not good enough. No, not councillors. Councillors are fair game. It's the punters when.
Well, maybe Richard. Maybe Richard. It's the punters, i.e., you, that haven't been delivering the goods because you've all kind of wimped out like the bunch of girls that you are, Chard.
Well, I phoned you up.
Yeah, and you've phoned up with the most boring, tedious, rubbish calls. Well, you've just phoned up to say, hang on a second. Richard, no, hang on a second. You've just phoned up to say I've lost my edge. And then when I give you the edge, you can't handle it.
Martin tablets.
You can't handle the edge.
Good for you.
You can't handle the edge, Richard.
I can handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth, Richard.
You can't handle the truth.
Richard is the truth that you're a dull call.
With me.
Thank you. That's the calibre of callers we get on this show. Hey, but sometimes we get highbrow calibre callers. Here's a highbrow calibre caller now. I live now about 6 miles away from the home on the Britwell estate in Slough, where I grew up, and I moved out at the age of 11 years old, and I drove past it. I parked up the end of the street and had a little walk around. Man alive, it's tiny. I had a little look. I could see into the back garden. If I stood in a weird place and stood on tippy toe, I could see a few houses down and see in the back garden. Is it acceptable? And I'm genuinely tempted to do this. I nearly put a note through the door. There was a van parked outside one evening that had a phone number on it, and I took the phone number and I didn't call it. Would it be acceptable for me and my sister to turn up one day, knock on the door, say, hello, we used to live here, here's a picture of us from the 70s, can we come in and have a look around? If someone did that to you, would you let them in? My house is, that I'm in now, is probably only about 30 years old, so I suppose someone could knock on the door, I suppose. Colin?
Good morning.
Yes, if someone knocked on your door, right?
Yeah.
Hello, and said, I used to live in this house, can I come and have a look around? Would you let them in?
I probably would.
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Quite sweet, isn't it?
It is quite. But supposing they're, I don't know, a murderer, a rapist, or burglar.
Well,
an M&R or a B. They could be, couldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it?
So, but would it depend on what they look like? Supposing it was a sweet.
Probably not.
Really? So it's a sweet young woman. In her 50s, she's only 5'4", she's wee. And she knocks on the door, oh, excuse me, I used to live in this house, could I come and have a look, please? A wee little look?
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Yeah, she's got a Scottish accent, mate.
So,
when was she living in your house? And when was your house in Scotland, Colin? You're not asking the obvious questions, mate.
Oh.
Boom. She M's, she R's, or she B's you immediately. All right. It's a big fella comes in. Big fella. About 6'3". He's topless. He's got tattoos on. All right, mate. I used to live here. I'll come have a look round.
Well, I suppose you...
Would you let him in?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you let him in? He stood at your doorstep. Would you let him in?
Probably.
That's the correct answer, yeah. You should let him in. He sounds like a nice fella.
Anyway.
Yeah?
Why I've rung you?
Oh, it wasn't that. By the way, 08459 455 555. And I can't believe more people don't do this.
It's terrible, isn't it?
What?
Not ring in.
No, not ringing in. Oh, for goodness sakes. No, not the ringing in thing. I'm talking about more people don't knock on their old...
Oh, sorry.
Why do we not get knocks on our doors at least 4 times a year from people who claim to have lived in our house when they were younger?
Well, I don't know. Maybe people aren't that interested.
Oh, come on, man. Everyone's interested in nostalgia. The whole world is fuelled by the thing.
Not so much nowadays. People of my generation,
Hang on. Nostalgia. People aren't interested so much in nostalgia these days. There's a sentence, Colin. One day you'll understand how beautifully constructed that is. Oscar Wilde himself will be proud.
All right.
What you got for us?
Right, an oppo.
Yes.
Definition is short for an operative.
Do you think?
Pardon?
Do you think?
I think. Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because I've heard it before. Many times. And no, I haven't Googled it.
I'm Googling it.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I can hear you furiously typing away on your
computer. Like my computer keyboard, yes. Colleague or friend is the closest we've got, yes. So it's not... I was worried that it was a little bit racist. You're saying it's not?
No.
Oh, man, I used to live in your house. Can't come round. Don't worry about the knife I got. Don't worry about the knife. Can I come and look at your house I used to live in?
I've got another little one for you.
Let me come look in your house. I've got a knife. Would you let that person in?
Yes.
You're nuts. It's weird that we have this culture, though, of wanting to buy houses in this country. I want to own a property. Why?
It's the old Englishman is its castle kind of thing, isn't it?
Englishman is its castle.
His castle?
It's castle. An Englishman is his castle?
An Englishman has a castle?
Every Englishman should have a castle that they can call home sweet home. I think is the saying. Is that right, Kels?
Yep.
Just say it back to me.
Every Englishman has a castle that he should call home sweet home.
Yeah,
is that right, Kels? Say it back to me.
Go on, then.
No, you've got to say it.
You're Kels.
Oh, yeah. Every Englishman has a castle that he should call home sweet home. Is that right, Kels? Say it back to me. Every Englishman has a castle that he should call home sweet home. Is that right, Kels? Say it back to me. Every Englishman has a castle that he should call home sweet home. Is that right, Kels? Say it back to me. Every Englishman has a castle that he should call home sweet home. Is that right, Kels? Say it back to me. Every Englishman...
Fair play. Fair play. We entered a time warp, like in that episode of Doctor Who, where they enter a time loop.
Doctor Who?
Huh? What? So, well, that certainly was fun.
My brother was going to live in a warehouse as almost like a live-in security guard. That happens in London quite a bit.
I'd like to live in a windmill.
I'd like to live in a lighthouse.
I meant a lighthouse.
Oh. Should we...
So you can have my windmill. I'm not living there anymore.
Oh, OK, cool.
Thanks, man. Nice. Justin?
Yes, boss?
Sometimes I get tweets, emails, letters, all kinds of things asking how you look so darn sexy. Give us some of your fashion tips.
Fashion tips, I would say... I go to 2 shops. Am I allowed to say these shops on this podcast? Yeah, OK.
You have to name 3.
I have to name 3. OK, I go to All Saints. I go to TK Maxx. And I also go occasionally to River Island.
And as a man approaching his 40s, how do you manage to look like someone who's only 36?
It's called makeup.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, our former producer is not here, so we've been bullying Scoins. Feel free to join us. Have a listen.
Oh.
Baby. I was going to give them a call. I'd send them a letter, but I don't know the address. Guys? Guys? Kels?
You're an idiot.
I'd send a letter to the people who live in the house I used to live in, but I don't know the address. Scoins?
Huh?
I'd send a letter to the people who live in the house I used to live in, but I don't know the address. I don't know their address.
What, have they moved?
They have moved into the house.
Right.
And I don't know the address.
Can you find it out?
How?
I don't know, have you got a postcode or something?
No, I don't know it.
Oh. Could you...
It's the address I grew up in. But I don't know where they live, so I can't write to them to ask them.
Scoins is a plum.
Yeah, he's a plum.
What plum? I think you lived at 94 Scoins of Plum Street.
Yeah.
MUPPET.
Or maybe I lived at 69 Scoins is a wet fish avenue in Plumsville. Postcode, the same one you said, that's MUPPET. Do you want to do one, Scoins?
He doesn't know what we're saying.
No, he thinks we're actually giving out his home address and he's scared, he's crying. Do another one, Kels, 'cause it's funny. Do another address for him that he lives in that's rude about him.
18 Scoins is a Muppet Street.
What town is that in?
Scoinsville.
What's the postcode for that? What's the postcode for that?
PLUM.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah, it's it's number 69, and it's Scoins Stinks Lane, and the town is in Milton Keynes, and the postcode is it spells Cheesebell. CHE. It's too long for a postcode.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Muppet. He lives in Muppet again.
He lives at number 2. It's hard to do when he's staring right at
Yeah,
you.
I know. He can't hear you, don't worry.
Number 2.
He doesn't get it.
Idiot Lane.
Yours are genuinely brilliant.
In Pooh Town.
Do the postcode again.
And the postcode...
PLOP5. Plop 5. Did you enjoy that, Scoins?
Ow. Ow. Oh. No, I didn't enjoy it.
Why?
Because
I'm a baby. No, seriously, why didn't you enjoy it?
It's...
Because I'm a baby. No, seriously, why didn't you enjoy it?
It's...
Because I'm a baby. Why didn't you enjoy it? I'm a baby. I'm a baby.
Stop being a baby.
Stop being a baby and answer the question. Why didn't you enjoy it? I'm a baby. I can't see. I got tears on my glasses.
It's really childish.
Yeah, I know, so wipe your glasses. Dealey, we had beef this week.
We did.
But your beef was lamb. That's weak beef. That's from the rear of the beef.
Yeah.
As opposed to the main beef steak at the front near the jowls.
It was beefy, whichever way you look at it.
It was weak beef.
Well...
Should we listen?
Yeah, it was strong beef.
Fat doctors. Fat doctors and nurses. The front page of The Sun. Weights up, doc. Fat medics ordered to slim by NHS chief. You and I, we disagree quite strongly on this, don't we?
We do. Because I think that you need to practice what you preach. If you're going to be going to your doctor and you've got weight issues, it doesn't really help your cause if sitting opposite you is an obese doctor. How can that possibly help you? Where's the motivation?
Well, no. What you're doing there, Justin, is you're using your own insecurities and your own weaknesses and you're planting them on the person sat opposite you. If you're saying, I'm not going to give up smoking because my doctor's a smoker, or I'm not going to eat healthier because my doctor's a fatty, that's you're punishing yourself, mate, and you're using them as an excuse.
But it doesn't inspire me, and if we are being told, like we constantly are, that in this country we have major weight problems, as a nation we are getting fatter and fatter. Doctors, of course, they are meant to be healthy. I just don't think it sets the right example for them to be overweight. But then again, what do I know?
Well, not a lot, mate, on this one, it turns out. What have the people on the street said?
Well, I've been asking people this morning, Ian, do you care if your doctor is overweight? Here's what people had to say.
Yeah, I do a bit, because it's quite contradictory when someone's actually bigger than you and they're telling you, you've got to lose this weight. And although it's their advice, surely they should be following it too.
So as somebody said to you then, as your doctor said to you, you're overweight, and your doctor was actually overweight themselves?
Yeah, that's happened to me once before, yeah, and it was, like, really awkward. It's a bit contradictory. Surely you should be setting a better example.
Because Ian thinks back in the studio that I'm absolutely crazy for saying that doctors should be slim, because it makes absolutely no difference. But from your story, clearly, for you losing weight, it didn't really give you the motivation if your doctor opposite you is overweight themselves.
Obviously, I don't think every doctor should be slim. If they could do their job, they could do it. But obviously, if they're a doctor that specialises in, say, diet control, and then they're bigger than you and they're not doing anything about it, and they're, like, just sort of telling you to lose it, it feels quite contradictory.
So, just lastly, the doctor that you saw, was that doctor a specialist in weight control then?
No, it wasn't a specialist, but she was, she, like, dealt with people that were overweight, so she did know quite a bit about it.
And she was overweight herself?
Yeah, she was bigger than me, yeah.
They should, yes. I think definitely should be slim, yeah, because it's not setting a good example, is it? I mean, people are going in there because they're overweight and that, and then the doctors are saying so.
No. What's the difference? Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't affect the diagnosis if they're not slim, does it? I don't think it. I don't
think it sets the wrong example if they're overweight?
No, why? Only if they tell somebody else they're fat.
Not really, no. But it doesn't give the right perception to a large person, because if your doctor's telling you to lose weight and he's big or they're big, then it sort of gives you a complex of, well, the doctor doesn't care, he seems to be healthy, then why should I lose weight?
Typical Dealey report.
No, not at all.
No.
The word on the street, boss.
No, typical Dealey report.
No.
You spent more time with the person who agreed with you than the fella who disagreed with you, mate. That's biased reporting.
No, I'll tell you why. Because she had a very interesting story to tell.
No, because she agreed with you.
No, but she had an interesting story to tell.
In your opinion, because it backed up your weak argument.
You know, that was somebody, and I can say this if she's listening right now, she was overweight. She still is overweight. Now, if you're going to your doctor for inspiration and help, and that person sitting opposite you is bigger than you, how can that possibly help?
No, because you're using your own weakness, your own insecurities, and you're projecting it on them, Justin. They're giving you sound medical... I don't care what their weakness is. I care what their medical knowledge is.
If you said to me, you need to give up smoking, you're an absolute disgrace, and in the next sentence you then went outside and you lit up a cigarette yourself...
What a sentence.
OK. But where's the credibility? There is no credibility. If somebody's preaching to you...
You are ignoring the fact, Dealey,
no, I'm not ignoring
medical
the facts.
advice is sound. It is sound. Doesn't matter what mistakes they make in their life. Doesn't matter how weak-willed they are. Doesn't matter how flawed they are as a human being. Their medical advice is sound. And you can't use their own personal flaws to justify your own weakness.
So if their own medical advice is so sound and so accurate, why don't they follow that themselves? I think it's a bit of a cheek.
I want to slap you today.
No, I'm absolutely spot on. And you know what? You will hear from many people this morning that unfortunately have had weight issues, and if they go and see a specialist and that person is bigger than them, I'm sorry, but you're not going to take anything from that.
And he wasn't the only one I had weak beef with this week. Beef. Here's Pat in Houghton Regis arguing with me about legal aid going to the killers of Lee Rigby.
Well, that 200,000 could be better spent, couldn't it?
On what?
Towards a referendum that this country's long been waiting for on capital punishment.
Well, no, it couldn't be spent on that.
Why couldn't it?
Well, because you're naive if you think that they can just take £200,000 out of the legal aid pot and put it towards a referendum. It doesn't work like that. It's completely separate.
No, you're just changing the sort of tack on that. What I'm saying,
I'm not changing the tack,
on the principle, let's have the principle of this thing. If we had capital punishment in this country, they wouldn't even be getting that legal aid.
Well, no, they would have, because they still would have had to have gone through the legal process, Pat.
The legal process, we wouldn't be paying for them on and on for the rest of their lives.
No. Now you're going off on a different tack. You're talking about the cost of keeping them in prison. The £200,000 was the cost of them going through the legal system to get to prison.
This legal system is upside down and geared towards the criminal. We all know that.
No, we don't know that.
Back on its head, and we had the money that these people were getting out of us that have committed the crime. It's about time it was put into another pot where we could actually sort our legal and justice system out.
Pat, that's very naive, because the money wouldn't be siphoned off into another pot. That money is for legal aid. No one has been prevented getting legal aid because of these gentlemen, and no one is suffering unduly because of that money being paid in legal aid. It's completely separate. And also, it proves you're wrong as well when you say that the legal system favours the criminal. How on earth has the legal system favoured these two gentlemen? They're going to be in prison for the rest of their lives. So we have won.
But they're breathing. How have we won? You called them gentlemen as well, Ian. I don't know how you're going to call it. They're not gentlemen.
But you're saying that the legal system has let us down. In what way is it? In what way has it let us down in this case, where two fellas have been found guilty of a crime they committed and they're sentenced to prison pretty much for the rest of their lives? How has that let us down?
Well, the government have let us down by not having a referendum.
No, not the government. Pat,
Pat, they've let us down because they're alive.
Pat, a very specific question. How has the legal system let us down in this case?
They let us down because they're breathing, these two people. These two people are breathing because of what they've done. It's wrong.
Do you know how much a referendum would cost?
Well, we had a referendum on proportionality when this last government come in, and that come out of the blue.
How much would a referendum cost?
I don't know the figures, but all I know is if you want the justice system to work in this country, give the people a voice.
Yeah, how much? You said let's put £200,000 towards a referendum. Do you know how much the referendum on the changes to the parliamentary voting system cost about 3 years ago?
No, you tell me.
Have a guess.
No, well, I don't know. 3 million? 4 million?
£75 million. That £200,000 wouldn't even scrape the sides.
Right. So they found £75 million to change the parliamentary, whatever you're on about earlier. They can find another £75 million to satisfy those people in this country that want to see capital punishment back.
But capital punishment, right, you know that no one's going to introduce capital punishment because it would be a complete vote loser. And what makes you so confident that the majority of people want capital punishment?
Because that's why the government won't give that referendum, because they know that the people in this country will vote for it.
Well, what makes you so confident that people would vote for it? Where do you get your figures from?
Well, the figures are, when I talk to anybody about what's happening in our country, you would get a negative response, wouldn't you? A negative response saying, no, I don't want capital punishment, I don't want... You ask your friends, you ask anyone about it.
The thing is, Pat, we often make friends of people who have similar views to us and have similar thoughts on stuff. So you asking your friends, do you want capital punishment, the majority of them, I would imagine, would say yes. Me asking my friends, would they want capital punishment, the majority of them would say no. We surround ourselves with people who have similar viewpoints to us.
Let's put it to the test then. Why can't we have it to the test? And then it'd be finally... If it's gone against where capital punishment can't come back, that's the end of the matter. But they won't put it to the test,
But people like you would be unhappy if you lost that test.
I wouldn't know. If I lost that test and it was a majority view, I'd agree with that.
Capital punishment doesn't work. You know that, don't you, Pat, though? Before I go, because I've got to go. It doesn't work.
Keeping people alive that have murdered people doesn't work either.
Well, it does work. It punishes them for an extended period of time. Capital punishment does not reduce the number of murders.
You don't know that.
Well, I do know that.
You ain't got it now.
Well, Pat, I do know that. Let me just think. Are there any countries where they kill people who commit murders? Oh, yeah, America. And do they still have murders there? Oh, yeah, they have loads of murders there. The murder figures are on the increase in states where they have capital punishment. Pat, it doesn't work as a deterrent.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to disagree with that.
OK, Pat, you disagree with facts and statistics as much as you want, fella. And they're not the only people I had beef with this week. Beef, it doesn't even say beef the second time, and I can't stop saying it. Here's Lynn from Hemel.
Good morning, Ian.
What do you want to say?
Well, at the risk of you belittling me, I do agree with what you said. Yes, it's wonderful that we live in a fabulous country and you can put through an appeal and it gets paid for. But in this case, it was a public execution.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
OK, how do you know?
Because it was reported by the BBC.
Yeah, but we didn't see it. We didn't see it.
But many people did, didn't they?
I don't know. I've not spoken to those people. Well, we know...
Yeah, I know. You're doing exactly what I said you're going to do. You won't listen to me. You're just going to belittle me and make me look stupid.
No, Lynn, I'm not belittling. It's interesting that you think when someone offers an argument that it's belittling. Not in the slightest. But I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. What I saw was a young black lad with blood on his hands carrying a butcher's knife. That's what I saw. I don't know what happened before or after, as I wasn't there.
No, I wasn't there, but the BBC, which I have a great deal of faith in, reported it, and there were women, weren't there, that had their reports where they tried to stop them and help them.
Well, exactly, but what you're telling me at the moment is hearsay, because I don't know. And you can't sentence two people to life imprisonment simply on hearsay or news reports. You can't bypass the legal system.
There were people that saw it happen. Just because I didn't and you didn't doesn't make it any less real, does it?
There were witnesses there.
Exactly.
But they still have to go through the legal process to be found guilty. You can't just say, oh, there were loads of people there that saw it and filmed it on their mobile.
Didn't they go through the legal process and be found guilty?
Well, yeah, and that's where the £200,000 has gone.
And what I don't understand is, I agree with you in some part, but they were witnessed doing it.
Apparently.
And I think, what do you mean apparently? There were several witnesses.
Well, I've not studied the case in great detail.
As I say, my news comes from the BBC. So the BBC.
But you should question.
Are liars, are they?
No, not at all. But do you not question? I question all the news I read and hear.
I don't question something.
Oh, I do.
I don't question something that's reported by the BBC.
I would.
That wouldn't. Well, you might do. You're very argumentative. You probably question everything.
No, I do question everything. And you say that as though that's a bad thing, Lynn. I question everything. Of course, I question what I read in the newspapers. I question what I see on the news. I question what I hear. I question what I hear Simon saying in the news here. Because
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I don't understand your attitude on this, to be honest.
Well, the attitude is that they had £200,000 legal aid, okay, to go through court. You appreciate they had to go through the legal process to be sentenced?
No, I understand that.
And then where's your beef?
My thought was that they were now questioning it and appealing.
They're appealing.
And I thought that's what the money was going on.
No.
So how...
There'll be more money spent on the appeal.
Why would they appeal something?
Because they're in prison. They're in prison for the rest of their lives, and they are going to be well bored. So they might as well. And the beauty again of the legal system is, if you disagree with a judge's decision, you're allowed to question it, and that's great. And we can't exclude them.
That.
We can't exclude them. We can't be selective.
It was a public execution.
Okay, but they are questioning the length of their sentences. Which they are... Lynn, we're going around in circles, but they are legally allowed to do that. We can't say, we don't like them, so we're not going to let them question it. But these ones we're not so disappointed with. And they're not the only people I had weak beef with this week, beef. Actually, it was. Unless I have weak beef with someone on Friday this week, beef, which is lightly beef. Paul Scoins has saved this desperate, dying carcass of a show. Anyone spot the deliberate mistake there, Kels? If it's a carcass, it's dead.
Oh.
By coming up with a great new catchphrase. Paul?
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
When I say came up with a catchphrase, you stole it from an old woman.
An old Cliff Richard fan.
Shh. Let's dip back into the radio show so you can hear it's all unfolding.
Sorry. How it's...
All unfolding. Thanks. This new slogan for the show, Paul, remind us what it is.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
You're not so keen on it, mate.
Yes.
A little bit dismissive. I wasn't at first, but I think it's... Well, Paul puts forward a great argument. Paul, put your argument forward for it.
Well, this all came from our programme last week, Ian, where we spoke to the lady from the Cliff Richard fan club.
Yep.
And she was saying that the motto of their newsletter is, if you hear a whisper, brackets, about Cliff Richard, give us a shout.
Now, we're not being so selective, are we?
We're not being so selective. This doesn't exclusively link to Cliff Richard. I mean,
in fact, some of the whispers about Cliffy, probably best that you don't shout.
Don't shout about that. But if the theory behind this is if you hear a little whisper about anything going on, little story, give us a shout. Justin, I thought this would be up your street.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Today I am smart for harps. I'm going to be later on live in Harpenden in my new smart outfit today. I'll take this one to the streets, I'll get reaction, and maybe I shall get people in their poshest voices, in Harpenden, of course, which is very posh, to say that slogan for us.
Definitely get some slogan, get them to say that, and we can put that in hotkeys. I think that'll be great. Local and vocal, local voice is always great. But what I was thinking, a nice little Vox package might be you going up to people and just saying, what is it again, Paul? Sorry.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
And then just putting the microphone in their faces and just seeing what their response is. We might get some great local stories.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe.
We might get some great local stories, Justin.
Yeah, cheers, boss.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed. Excellent stuff indeed from J-Dog today. So, well, the motto of the show is, if you're shouting, you should be whispering.
No.
No?
If you hear a whisper...
Shout it.
No. If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
We've now dipped out of the radio show and we're back into the podcast link, so I can tell you that we're dipping back into the radio show for more bants on the radio. Well, technically she hasn't anymore, but when she did, boy oh boy, did she use it. Nina Simone there, and Ain't Got No. From the musical, from which musical, guys, Justin?
Hair?
Yeah! Oh,
it's
well
in
done.
there.
I've told you my hair story about when I took my mum to see Hair. Maybe I've not told you this, Paul. Took my mum. I love Hair. Hair is one of my favourite musicals. Is my favourite musical. And I've got the original British, the original American, the film soundtrack. I've got 5 different versions of the Hair soundtrack. Yeah, I love it. I love it that much. Right? I think it's a masterpiece. And I took my mum to see Hair maybe 2 years ago, right? Now, she's in a wheelchair, so when you're in by the way, if you want to get cheap seats in the theatre, take someone in a wheelchair. The carer either goes free or half price. And they're great seats.
Good tip.
Great, it's a good tip. So I took my mum to see Hair, so she's in the wheelchair. I think I got free seats for that one for me, because I was a carer. Anyway, so she's up in the balcony, and she's right by the edge at the balcony, okay? She's at the front of the balcony and by the aisle, okay? And, of course, there's a scene in Hair where they strip off and they kind of wander out into the audience in the nuddy, right? Wow. And so I'm there with my mum, and there's this naked fella. So you're my mum in a wheelchair, Paul, right?
Okay.
And there's this naked, let the sun shine in, and he's walking around towards her, and she's there, the balcony's in front of her. He puts his leg up on the balcony. Oh. Let the sun shine in. Everything is flapping around.
Jeez.
Inches from my mum's face.
How did she feel?
With both hands. No. She said to me in the interval, I've not seen one of those for years. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, Justin.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about
can't
actors.
top that, though.
No, exactly. She tried. Anyway, so, listen, we've got a new catchphrase for the show that Paul Scoins has stolen from an elderly Cliff Richard fan. Scoins, remind us of this catchphrase, please.
Keep it brief.
What?
Just Paul.
Yeah.
Could be a long answer.
Well, Ian, last week we did a piece of...
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout. Is that it?
Yeah.
OK. Now, Justin, I think this is a cracking idea. You're not convinced, are you?
No, I'm not convinced at all. I mean, obviously, James Whale, one of our BBC colleagues, he's got The Only Way Is Whale, which is, that's quite good. If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Hang on, Justin. What is that? That gets you nothing back.
Yeah, but he's based in Essex.
Yeah, but...
So it's based on The Only Way Is Essex, The Only Way Is Whale. It's simple but effective.
They're two different things. You do...
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout. So what I've done, I've taken this one to the streets.
I'm looking forward to this
the slogan of our breakfast show. I've taken it to Harpenden, the home of our big tour, to get some feedback. I was smart for harps yesterday. Here's what happened. Hey, Kieran, you well?
Yeah.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
So I don't... What?
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Oh, okay.
Does it work?
What? The whisper...
the slogan?
What's... Oh, yeah.
So, what's the slogan again?
Whisper. Give a... Oh, no.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
All right.
Say that again for us.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Come on, put some passion into it. Come on.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Yes. Morning, sir. If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
I can't hear anything. I'm not that sharp on the hearing, actually.
Okay. If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Hello.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Fine.
Lovely hearing, by the way. Well, it's quite long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Michael, if you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Goodbye.
Oh, but Michael, you don't know what it's about?
I don't want to know either.
No, it's a slogan to our breakfast show, Michael. Do you like it?
No.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
Hey, Tim, you're a keen Iain Lee fan, aren't you?
I certainly am, yeah, certainly am.
Good man. So, the new slogan, if you hear a whisper, give us a shout. Is that working for you?
Slightly, only slightly.
Oh.
Yeah.
How can we up our game then?
If you hear it, cheer it.
If you hear it, cheer it?
Cheer it. What about that?
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
I don't have a clue what you're going on about, mate.
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
You've lost me.
It's the, So I thought word had got out about this already. It's
I'm not from around here, so I'm not from around this area.
Where do you live?
At Stevenage.
Oh, right, you're still local and vocal.
What are you on about?
If you hear a whisper, give us a shout.
No, I can't hear. I must be going deaf or something.
No.
Right, about what?
What about anything happening locally?
Really? Oh,
It's
right.
it's the slogan to our breakfast show.
Oh, right.
You don't seem
What's
to be...
your name?
My name's Justin.
Oh, Justin. Oh, yes, I've heard you on the radio, Justin.
So as a listener, this slogan, if you hear a whisper, give us a shout, would that get you to phone the radio station about local stories?
No, if I knew any local stories, but I'm very old and people don't tell me whispers.
I've got to be honest with you, this slogan's not working on you, is it?
It's not, no. I will give you a ring, though, Justin.
Yeah?
You look very handsome and suave and... I mean, I'm surprised that you don't pick out the women and the fellas are not unless you're a little bit like that. Sorry,
Well,
you're not like
yes.
that.
Let's not go there, Harry. Okay, lovely to meet you, sir. Take care.
And you.
Cheers.
Yeah, take care.
Interesting twist at the end there. So basically, people weren't really digging it.
No, they weren't. I think when it comes to a slogan, as soon as you mention it to people, that they should know what you're talking about, and secondly, they should be able to repeat that slogan. Sadly, when I took it to the streets, it didn't really work.
Now we're back in the podcast, and you're just in time to hear me do some quiz show impressions. Okay, guys.
Okay. Anyone in particular?
Standing up.
Hey!
Jimmy Talbot.
Yes!
Yes.
That is spot on!
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, another quiz show impression.
Oh, yeah, you gotta say what you see. Eiffel Tower. What's Mr. Chips up to now in the film? Say what you see when Mr. Chips on...
Roy Walker.
Yes!
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
It's good, but it's not right.
Okay, let's...
Oh, it's good, but it's not great. You're not good at the Eiffel Tower.
Pointless.
No, that's you. Here's another one. Here's another one. We're playing catch-up in the two zone. What am I? I'm round, I'm a fruit, and I'm orange. Is it an orange, Henry? Yes, it is, and I'm going for gold.
Is it Henry somebody?
Yeah.
Henry Kelly. I know him. We're related.
What?
Related?
Yeah.
How are you related?
Because my first name's Kelly.
My friend's dad is Iranian, and he thought the lyrics to the Going for Gold theme were, the heme is on, the time is right, and he thought that each line was sung in a foreign language.
What does hemizol mean?
I don't know, I don't speak foreign languages.
Hey, Scoins, why don't you do a quiz show impression?
Would you like to phone a friend?
You're supposed to do it in a different voice.
Who would like to be a millionaire?
I think you'll find it's called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Anyway, let's go back. All right, guys, calm down. God, you could cut the tension with a knife.
Don't get a knife out.
No. Let's peer back into the radio box and see what's happening now. Look, it's Pitcher Phil.
Good morning, Iain.
Good morning, Philip.
Good morning. This has got me a bit puzzled because this quiz show you're talking about, the only one I remember where there were odds was called the Sweepstake Game in 1976 with Bernard Braden. And I know it's not that, is it?
No, it's not that at all, you plum.
No, that's what I thought. I've been racking. Can you give me a clue? Just a tiny clue.
No, hang on. For those who don't know, Picture Phil knows every minute detail. Some would say every dull, tiny detail about every television show ever made. All right, I'll do it again. Here we go. Right, hang on, I've got to do the voice. Ho ho. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Ho ho! So we've got a difference of opinion.
Well, I reckon, Ian. The only thing is your impersonation is, if it's who I think it is perfect. Is it Ken Dodd?
No, it's not Ken Dodd.
Oh,
flipping heck, Philip.
Well, I mean, you've got me really stumped with this one. What about Winner Takes All with Jimmy Tarbuck?
Oh, now, Philip, hang on a minute, Kyle.
Oh, hi, Ian.
Hello, Kyle. You're on the air. What show do you reckon it is?
Well, I think you've conflated two shows.
Sorry?
I think it's Winner Takes All is the game show.
Yeah.
But your impression seems to be Henry Kelly.
You're playing catch up in the two-zone. Yeah. I'm a fruit, I'm round, I'm an orange. What am I? No, it's not an impression of Henry Kelly.
No.
I'm doing Jimmy Tarbuck.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it was Winner Takes All, guys.
Did they... I remember it used to go out. I think it was from Yorkshire Television, if I remember correctly. And it used to go out on a Friday night, I think, about 7 o'clock.
Sorry, Carl, you're never going to get another word in edgeways now. Phil speaking.
Oh, I do apologise, Carl.
Kyle!
No, I was going to say, he's a Scouser, Jimmy Tarbuck.
I was doing a Scouse accent, mate.
Was it?
He sounds Irish.
We've got a difference of opinion. 5-1. It's Phil saying the odds-on game.
Yes.
And at evens, it's Kyle saying Winner Takes All. Let's find out who's right.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Kyle, you're spot on, mate. But you're...
All right.
That is a bang on. All right, you do Jimmy Tarbuck.
Who, me?
Yeah, go on.
They do, though, don't they, though? The Beatles. 5-1.
Phil, you do a Jimmy Tarbuck.
Oh, I'll be honest with you, and I like being honest, I can't do it. I remember Jimmy Tarbuck when he did Sunday Night London played him when he first started.
Here we go. Look at you trying to redeem yourself. There is egg on your face, Phil. I think you missed a bit.
I told your co-producer, researcher, that, and I thought I was wrong. I admit I'm wrong. I'm not perfect.
You're not perfect, it turns out.
No.
Phil, I just tweeted that you're coming on, and Scott has messaged me saying every now and then I seek out the video of Picture Phil singing Rocky Top on YouTube.
Oh, do you know what, Ian? I don't think it is on YouTube, is it?
Scott seems to think it is.
I tell you what is on YouTube. It's me making a mistake.
Oh, blimey.
Can I say it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Picture Phil muffs it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with you, when I used to do the scores.
Oh, yeah.
And I make a mistake.
Yeah. Well, you made a mistake today, Phil, haven't you? And Kyle, thank you very much indeed. Welcome back to the podcast links. Yeah, we're doing it like this today. Let's peer back into our radio box and hear what we're talking about now. The Sun, Britain's biggest selling newspaper, the People's paper, it describes itself, I see, really has gone off the rails recently. It really has been printing a complete and utter load of old guff on its front pages. Forget the inside pages. The front pages, they're kind of just, I would say, three rungs on the news ladder above the Daily Star. So we've had the boy with the devil mark, which was probably a burn from a hairdryer. Mm-hmm. What do we have yesterday? There was something ridiculous yesterday, wasn't there?
Well, we managed to get quite a lot of mileage out of it.
What was it?
Remember rightly, it was
Fat Doctors.
Fat Doctors, yeah.
Today, you couldn't make it cup. 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 Couldn't make it cup.
Yeah.
Front page of the Sun today. Couldn't make it cup. NHS won't fix my odd boobs, as I'm not a wannabe model. You couldn't make it cup, could you?
No.
A teenager with one breast, 6 cup sizes bigger than the other, has been refused a boob op on the NHS. Jasmine Andrews, 17, of Malden, Essex, claims it's because she's not a wannabe model like Josie Cunningham. Tragic for this young lady. Very sorry to hear that. But you couldn't make it cup. That's a front page story that a woman's got one boob bigger than the other and she can't get it done on the NHS? We're all looking to Kelly as the only woman here.
Help us out, Cal.
I wonder what other slogan they could have used. Let's have a think.
OK, couldn't make it cup.
Boob.
What a boob?
OK, are we veering into taste and decency issues? I feel we might.
The breast around?
What's your boob about much ado about nothing? No.
Shakespeare scoins. You can't say that's tasteless and indecent. Shakespeare. He's Britain's finest. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
You could make it cut. Is back? Are we out? It's getting a bit tiresome, actually.
It makes
This.
perfect sense. Hello, everyone. This is the podcast links right now.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Should we dip back into here? What we're all
The whole
doing
thing was
on
funny
the radio.
twice, but
I think it's Dennis. It's probably Dennis. It's always Dennis.
You survived your wedding anniversary.
Naturally.
I'm assuming you had a little.
Yes, a little of everything.
A little, really?
Yes.
One from the top, two from the bottom.
Yeah, very good. We got some bottles of nice stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of bunky.
Well, not at my age.
Good lad. I can hear her giggling in the background.
I know, she's laughing again. Well, you asked me yesterday why I've been married so long.
Yes.
My advice is pick the right girl.
And you did, I'm assuming. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, I did.
So the thing is, Dennis, as men, you know this, we all like to pick the wrong girl, don't we? Hey?
Well, I picked a few before I found Wynne.
Good lad.
And
Well done.
I tell you what, you're on about smoking this morning.
Yes.
Smoking is a peer pressure thing to start with.
No, it's not.
Well, very, very few people start smoking on their own. It's peer pressure.
I don't buy this peer pressure thing.
Not?
I don't buy this. Do you know why I smoked?
No.
To annoy my girlfriend.
Well, that's peer pressure again.
That's not peer pressure.
Of course it is.
No, of course it's not.
It is.
No, it's not peer pressure. Peer pressure is what happened in Eastbourne yesterday. Shut up, Wynne! I've not been married for 65 years. I can say what I like. Peer pressure is when your mates go, here, go on, have a cheeky little snort on this, little smoke on this, because otherwise you're a scaredy cat.
Well, the thing is, before I met Wynne, of course, when I was on the pull, I never kissed a girl who smoked twice.
Oh.
It's like I'd rather put my head in a sewer than kiss a girl who's been smoking.
Can I have permission to speak freely?
Certainly.
I think there's something quite... Can I say that? I think there's something quite sexy about kissing a girl who smoked a cigarette.
Oh,
yeah.
God,
there's something wrong about it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to. I'd rather.
Wait, will you keep your noise down, love? I'm talking to Dennis.
No. He said, "Shut up."
If she wants to come on, give her the phone.
No, she started smoking, you see.
Oh.
That was peer pressure with friends.
Yeah.
And then she said to me, would I buy some cigarettes? I said, no, if you want cigarettes, go and buy the damn things yourself.
Yeah.
And she stopped.
Yeah. Cigarettes are too expensive now, anyway.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was, as I said, I don't like kissing a girl who's been smoking. I'd rather put my head down a sewer.
Can I speak to Wynne?
When? Can you hear?
What did they say?
She's poor hearing at the moment.
Pardon?
Can he speak to you, he said. Yes, you can hear. She can hear you.
No, he can't.
Yes, I can. Of course I can, you silly old sausage. How do you put up with Dennis for so long, Wynne?
What did he say?
How have you put up with me for so long?
I can't remember.
That's the way to do it, Dennis. Thank you very much. Here's what happened on Friday's show. Now, let's get this face on. Paul, could you... who's the gentleman who's been sending those tweets? Let's read some of those tweets. What's the fella's name?
I don't want to name him.
OK, well, can you send me those tweets?
Send you the tweets?
Yeah, listen. The astute amongst you will have noticed there has been a slight change, very minor, borderline insignificant change that has taken place to the show recently. We used to have a female producer whose name was Catherine Boyle. She is no longer on the show. She's currently not on the show. Paul Scoins is the current producer of the show. Now, lots of you have been sending us abuse and emails. Let me explain exactly what happened. Catherine broke Catherine broke rules of broadcasting twice. She did it twice. She made, and I've been given permission by the boss to say this, she made an inappropriate reference to semen. Yes, please. I think we can actually play the clip. If we dig the clip out, I think we should be able to play that. She made an inappropriate reference to Philip Seymour Hoffman, the actor. And she also... she also said something else which I can't allude to because that is just too rude. Now, once is fine. Twice really is. Poor show. So... with immediate effect, Catherine was removed from this show. She is undergoing not only a works tribunal, but there is an investigation. Once a complaint The way radio works, once a complaint is launched by the listener, and if that listener then decides to make that complaint legal, then it has to go through the British legal system. So, Catherine Boyle is not producing the show. Paul Scoins is producing the show. I think he's doing a cracking job. He's settling into it very, very nicely. Let's make this an end of the abuse, shall we?
I've sent you the tweets, Ian, on your email.
Let's have a little look from some of the tweets that Paul's been getting. Lena says, I've got to say, Paul Scoins is doing a great job producing Iain Lee's show. I can't remember that woman, Cindy. What was it? Neil says, how can you say that? Paul's voice is... A little bit of punctuation, Neil. How can you say that? Paul's voice is so dour and boring with no sense of fun or humour. Unlike Catherine, get her back, please. Oh, Catherine, says Leno, that was it. Bit cheeky, she's still using 3CR Kate in her Twitter name. Neil says, it's supposed to be a breakfast show to wake up, not send them back to sleep. Show some enthusiasm, it's dull. And Neil finally says, the banter is okay, but you just start enjoying it, then in comes the dour, boring voice of Paul and kills it stone dead, no funny meal. Right, we've answered the questions.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, mate. We've answered the questions. Let's get on with it. Let's enjoy it. Let's have a great future, guys. Let's win some more awards. Let's do some great radio. And remember, this did happen.
Oh, this thing about Philip Seymour Hoffman.
You've just got to be so careful when you're working in radio. I think this clip should be sent to all of the local colleges that teach radio, and people should certainly pay attention. Never make a mistake like this.
Oh, this thing about Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Hope that answers your questions. Let's go to Mark in Bletchley. Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Ian.
Mark, what you got for us?
I'd just like to say thank you to you and your production team for explaining Catherine Boyle's situation. I think it's pretty sad, really, this day and age. I know you've got rules and regulations, but I did listen to the podcast. I had to listen to it twice to try and pick up, because I've heard worse, but...
I'm sure that those people were when we're kind of straying into legal territory, I'm sure the situations where you've heard worse, those people lost their jobs.
Well, I thought it was a joke, and I couldn't believe it. No. And, I've followed Catherine since the gardening phone-in show. And,
yeah, she's had a long, in inverted commas, career, and it's just a shame that, a slip of the tongue muffed it up for her. And it's a lesson to everyone, isn't it, really?
It is. I would still support, as I say, you probably know me, I'm a pretty loyal listener to a lot of radio stations. And local radio is my life at the moment. And I don't like to see people having bad times. You know, people behind the scenes, people that work behind producers and radio engineers and everything. So I just thanks for putting that out anyway, because I couldn't see the faults. I couldn't see it, and I'm not the brightest penny in the back sometimes. And I thought I can't see it, but anyway, obviously thanks to the management for letting you. Talk about it, and I suppose we'll just move on and wish Catherine Boyle
08459 455 555 is the telephone number. Mark, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate your continued support, and we wish, I guess we wish that Catherine learns her lesson.
Does someone want to say bye?
Anyone?
Scoins?
Really?
No. See you guys. See you next week.
He's such a pro.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.